This week on Granite State Challenge, the Londonderry Lancers take on the Souhegan Sabres. Only one team will advance. Granite State Challenge starts now.
Major funding for the production of Granite State Challenge is provided by Unitil. Additional funding provided by NEA New Hampshire, Safety Insurance, New Hampshire Lottery, Heinemann Publishing, Cognia, HRCU, Manchester Community College, and viewers like you. Thank you. Get ready. It's time for New Hampshire high schools to match wits in a high-stakes scholastic showdown. It's time for Granite State Challenge. Here's your host, John Cannon.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this week for another Granite State Challenge match. We're almost halfway through our opening round, and we've got 3 teams already punched their tickets to the second round, and we've got 2 more teams here tonight ready to compete for the 4th spot. Let's introduce them to you, shall we? First up, we have the Londonderry Lancers. They are led by Captain Advika, who's a junior and is a big fan of ice cream. Do you have a favorite flavor?
Chunky Monkey all the way.
Chunky Monkey all the way. Is that a Ben & Jerry's flavor?
Yeah, Chunky Monkey.
Okay,
Woo.
what is it that you like about that flavor?
Chunky Monkey is just awesome because the texture, dark chocolate, walnuts, amazing banana flavor.
What's not to love, right?
Exactly.
All right, she's joined by Connor. Connor's a senior who's working hard, learning what instrument?
The trumpet.
The trumpet. And how's that going?
Could be better.
It could be better, all right? Well, you know, it doesn't matter where you are. It matters what direction you're headed. He's joined by Chris. Chris is a junior, also a musician, and got to march in a pretty famous parade recently.
Yeah, I got to march in the Rose Bowl parade my freshman year.
Okay,
with the,
excellent.
band.
That's all the way out in California. Was it a fun trip?
Yeah, it was a really good experience.
Awesome, excellent. And he's joined finally by senior Tim, and Tim is directing a play right now about the Holocaust. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's a play I'm directing at a local theater company, and it talks about events that take place at Terezin, one of the concentration camps during the war.
Wow, that's a lot of work directing a play. Good for you. The team is coached by Peter Willis, and the alternates are Connor and Katie, and they are the Lancers of Londonderry High School. All right, and their opponents this week are the Sabres of Souhegan High School. They're led by senior captain Alec. Alec is a big hiker who's hiked how many miles?
Over 1,000.
Over 1,000 miles. And is there a favorite hike that you've done recently or ever?
Yeah, the Lagavegr Trail in Iceland.
And what is the Lagavegr Trail like? What do you see on it?
It's through glaciers and volcanoes, so it's really awesome.
That sounds amazing. Excellent. He's joined by junior Zach, who plays a pretty interesting instrument himself. What is it, Zach?
It would be the bagpipes.
The bagpipes. How long have you been playing the bagpipes?
About a year now.
Okay. So is it an easy instrument to play, or is it kind of challenging?
I'd say that it's fairly challenging.
Okay. And what about it makes it so challenging?
It takes a lot of air and, just getting your fingers not tangled up.
All right. Well, there you go. Sounds good. He's joined by senior Ari, who is on the school's crew team. If folks at home don't know what that is, tell them what that is.
We row big boats, we row them fast, we black out for a few minutes, and then we make it to the finish line.
And how's the team doing? Is the team doing okay?
No.
Okay,
But we
that's
try.
all right. But you have fun.
We don't have fun, but we...
But
it's
you work hard.
important to us.
Okay, that's fine too. And of course, joining Ari is Amanda. Amanda's a sophomore and does one of my favorite sports, which is Nordic skiing. So tell us about Nordic skiing.
You run on sticks through the woods.
You run on sticks through the woods. So in Nordic skiing, you have classic and you have skate. Do you have a preference between those two?
Classic.
You like classic better? All right, excellent. The team is coached by Dave Jasinski, Sarah Kunyo Singh, and Travis Nason. And their alternates are Daniel and Nick. Give it up for the Souhegan Sabres. And of course, one more introduction for you this week, and that is our judges, Ann Belanger and Jim Johnston. All right, teams, you've been introduced. We're ready to play the game. So go ahead and grab those signaling devices, and we're going to dive right in. As you know, Granite State Challenge is played in 4 rounds, and in round 1, we do 10-point toss-up questions. So 10-point toss-up questions, Londonderry, Souhegan, here you go. The teleplay, The Miracle Worker, which first aired on Playhouse 90 in 1957, was based on the 1903 autobiography, The Story of My Life, by this woman. Helen Keller. This man was married to his first wife, Catherine of Aragon, from 1509 until 1531. Edvika of Londonderry.
Henry VIII.
Yes. There have been over 100 film and TV adaptations of Stephen King's works, but this 1976 adaptation of a 1974 novel was the first. Zach of Sauhegan?
Carrie?
That's it. David Bowie played this Serbian-American scientist known for his work with alternating current and the induction motor in the 2006 movie The Prestige. Chris of Londonderry.
Tesla.
Yes. In which work by Victor Hugo will you find Esmeralda and Quasimodo? Tim of Londonderry.
Notre Dame de Paris.
Sorry, no. Alec of Sauhegan.
The Humpback of Notre Dame.
Judges, he said Humpback of Notre Dame. So we're going to have to mark that incorrect. Sorry, it's the Hunchback. This Army installation in Kansas was built in 1827 as a forward base to protect the Santa Fe Trail. It is currently the oldest active U.S. Army post west of Washington, D.C. And that base is Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. Larry Page and Sergey Brin founded this company while they were students at Stanford University. Connor of Londonderry.
Google.
Google is right. This author is known for her autobiographical works, including Gather Together in My Name and I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Alec of Sauhegan.
Maya Angelou.
Yes. This sport, founded in 2005, features hoops, bludgers, and snitches, and is based on a game played in a series of novels. Chris of Londonderry.
Quidditch.
That's it. Actor Martin Sheen played President Josiah Bartlett in the TV series The West Wing. What state was Josiah Bartlett the governor of before he became president? Alec of Sauhegan.
New Hampshire.
Yes. All right, teens, our next question comes to you from the video monitors in front of you. Take a look.
Hi, I'm author and illustrator Tommy DePaola. In this book of mine, the title character warns her helper, Big Anthony, to never touch her magic pasta pot. But he does and makes a big mess. What's the title of this book?
Alec of Sauhegan.
Stregonona.
That's the one. This author and illustrator, whose first work as an illustrator was for the 1947 book Atomics for the Millions, went on to write and illustrate the children's classics Where the Wild Things Are and In the Night Kitchen. Correct response is Maurice Sendak. Maryland's most populous city is Baltimore. Its capital is this city, which served as the temporary capital of the United States from November of 1783 through June of 1784. Tim of Londonderry?
Annapolis.
That's the one. Team's 4 U.S. presidents were born in Massachusetts: John Adams, John Quincy Adams, John F. Kennedy, and this man. Edvika of Londonderry.
Calvin Coolidge.
Sorry, no. It was George H.W. Bush. This legendary gem's distinctive blue color is caused by trace amounts of boron. It was donated to the National Museum of Natural History in 1958 by gem merchant Harry Wilson. Edvika of Londonderry.
The Hope Diamond?
Yes. This composer, often referred to as the father of American music, wrote the songs Oh, Susanna, My Old Kentucky Home, and Beautiful Dreamer. Tim of Londonderry.
John Philip Sousa.
Sorry, no.
Franklin.
Zach of Sauhegan.
Franklin.
Sorry, it was Stephen Foster. Elvis Presley's first #1 hit was released in 1956 and was about this place at the end of Lonely Street. And at the end of Lonely Street, you find Heartbreak Hotel. All right, teams, this could be a unit of weight or the surname of an expatriate 20th century American poet and fascist sympathizer. Ari of Sauhegan?
Pound.
Correct. This Chinese-American architect is known for the John F. Kennedy Library in Boston and the glass and steel pyramid entrance to the Louvre in Paris. Chris of Londonderry.
Frank Lloyd Wright.
Sorry, no. Correct response is I am pay. Teams, we'll wait to ask that question in the next round. And after one round of play, it looks like we've got a tight match with Londonderry with a slight lead over Souhegan by a score of 60-50. All right, teams. Tight match, so we're just going to jump right into round two. In round two, we continue with the toss-up questions. However, we have doubled the point value, so we are now playing for 20-point toss-up questions. So Londonderry, Souhegan, hope you're ready. Here we go. Teams, what is the area of a right triangle with a height of 5 inches and a base of 10 inches? Tim of Londonderry?
25.
That's it. This actor has played Aquaman, Conan the Barbarian, and Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones. Ari of Souhegan.
Jason Momoa.
He's the one. All right, teams, your next question is our Unitil Power question, which comes to you on your monitors. As a reminder, power questions are worth double the points, so this is a 40-point toss-up question. Take a look at your monitors.
His son, Icarus, flew too close to the sun, melting the wax on his wings, causing him to plummet to the earth and die.
Ari of Souhegan.
Daedalus.
Yes. Charlotte Amalie is the capital of this Caribbean U.S. territory. Alec of Souhegan.
Guam.
Sorry, nope. Advika of Londonderry.
United States Virgin Islands.
Yes, correct. This English author's first novel, The Mysterious Affair at Styles, was published in 1920 and featured Detective Hercule Poirot. Zach of Souhegan.
Agatha Christie.
She's the one. The song Jai Ho, which translates to May There Always Be Victory, was the final song in this 2008 Rags to Riches movie set in India. Tim of Londonderry.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Yes. John Lennon co-wrote the song Imagine with this woman, who was also his wife. Connor of Londonderry.
Yoko Ono.
Yes. In what Broadway musical will you find the songs My Shot, The Schuyler Sisters, and Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story? Tim of Londonderry.
Hamilton.
Yes. This could be a character from The Incredibles, a short race, or a punctuation mark. Ari of Souhegan.
Dash.
Dash is correct. This flightless bird was not named for a type of pasta, but for its yellow crest, which English soldiers thought made it fancy, like the fellow who put a feather in his cap in Yankee Doodle. Tim of Londonderry.
Macaroni.
Yes, the macaroni penguin. Yes. Oh. They needed the whole thing. I'm sorry, Tim. They needed the whole thing, and I blew it, so Souhegan, you won't get a chance. So we're just going to move on to the next question. All right, here we go. The delegates of the Constitutional Convention held in Philadelphia from May to September in 1787 elected this man to preside over the proceedings. Amanda of Souhegan.
George Washington.
Yes. At the opening of the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, 84 pianists simultaneously played George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue. Spell Rhapsody. Ari of Souhegan.
R-H-A-P-S-O-D-Y.
That's it. This North Atlantic island is divided into two regions. The southern part of the island is an independent republic and part of the European Union. The northern part of the island is part of the United Kingdom. Zach of Souhegan.
Ireland.
Yes. All right, teams, take a look at your monitor. You are looking at Still Life with Apples and a Pot of Primroses, painted by this post-impressionist French artist in 1890. Alec of Souhegan.
Degas.
Sorry, nope. Sorry, Tim, just missed it. It was Paul Cézanne. Moose Brook State Park in Coos County was built by workers from this New Deal program, sometimes referred to as Roosevelt's Tree Army, that employed unmarried young men to work on state and federal lands. Zach of Souhegan.
The CCC.
Yes, we'll take that. 45 seconds left to go in round two. Matt Damon plays an astronaut left behind on Mars in this 2015 movie. Alec of Souhegan.
The Martian.
Yes. What famous document begins with the words, when in the course of human events? Amanda of Souhegan.
The Declaration of Independence.
That's the one. Albert Einstein had pictures of Sir Isaac Newton, James Clerk Maxwell, and this 19th century English chemist and physicist who did breakthrough research in electromagnetism and electrochemistry hanging in his study? Zach of Sauhegan?
Tesla.
Sorry, nope. Advika of Londonderry?
J.J. Thomson.
Sorry, nope. It was Michael Faraday was that scientist. And with that sound, we are at the end of round 2. And after round 2, Sauhegan expanding on its lead by a score of 270 to 160. All right, teams, at this point, I'd like to invite the alternates to join their teams at the podiums as we go into round 3. In round 3, which we call our 60-second round, each team will be given 10 questions in a category. We will give you 10 points for each correct response and an additional 10 points if you get all 10 correct. So you can earn up to 110 points. And Advika, team captain of Londonderry, as the team trailing, you can talk to your team. You get to choose first from the 3 categories. We have Thunder and Lightning, It's All About the Bay, and Queen Bees.
Thunder and Lightning?
What could it be about? What could it be about?
What about It's All About the Bay?
Thunder and Lightning, It's All About the Bay, and Queen Bees.
I don't know any bays, just Bay of Biscay.
Advika?
Let's do Queen Bees.
Queen Bees, okay. So Advika, you can talk to your team. I'm going to take your answer as the team answer. And if you don't know the answer and want to move to the next question, just say pass, okay?
Okay.
The answers to the following will all be strong women with first, middle, or last names that start with the letter B. 60 seconds on the clock. Good luck. Her first solo album, Dangerously in Love, was released in 2003.
Beyonce.
Yes, Beyonce. Don't have to ring in. She wrote the novel Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Oh my God. Harriet Beecher Stowe.
Yes, she was arrested for voting in 1872.
Susan B. Anthony.
Yes, this Icelandic singer's 9th studio album, Utopia, was released in 2017.
Pass.
It is Bjork. She was the Prime Minister of Pakistan twice.
Pass.
It's Benazir Bhutto. She was the lead character in Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice.
Elizabeth Bennet.
Yes, she wrote tales about Peter Rabbit.
Pass.
It is Beatrix Potter. She wrote The Feminine Mystique in 1963.
Betty White.
Sorry, no, it was Betty Friedan. Tennis player who won the 1979 Battle of the Sexes match against Bobby Riggs. It is Billie Jean King. Judges, 4 out of 10 on your 60-second round. All right, Sauhegan, that means you get to choose from between Thunder and Lightning, and It's All About the Bay. Alec, you can talk to your team.
Thunder and Lightning.
Thunder and Lightning it will be. Okay, so I will take your answer as the team answer, Alec, and if you need to pass a question, just say pass. For this category, the answers to the following will include the words thunder or lightning. 60 seconds. Start the clock. Owen Wilson voiced this stock car character in the Cars movies. Say
Lightning
again?
McQueen.
Yes. Large creature in Native American mythology or a model of a car.
Thunderbird.
Yes. Song from the musical Grease.
Grease Lightning.
Grease Lightning.
Yes. Phrase that means trying to do something that is close to impossible.
Catch Lightning in a Bottle.
Catch Lightning in a Bottle.
Yes. 2017 song by Imagine Dragons.
Thunder.
Thunder.
Yes. 1975 song by Bruce Springsteen.
White Lightning.
Sorry, it's Thunder Road, another name for a firefly.
Lightning Bug.
Lightning Bug.
Yes. 1749 Benjamin Franklin invention.
Pass.
Okay, it's lightning rod. NBA basketball team.
The Thunder.
Need the city.
Trenton.
Oklahoma City.
Yes. NHL hockey team. Need the city.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yes, correct. Judges. 8 out of 10 on your 60-second round. All right, well done, teams. Alternates, you can take your seats. Go ahead and take your seats, and we're going to move right on into round 4. So in round 4, a lot can change because we continue with our 20-point toss-up questions. However, we will be deducting 20 points for any incorrect responses. So we can swing big ways one way or another. Londonderry, Sauhegan, here we go. This character in the Disney movie The Princess and the Frog was loosely based on New Orleans restaurateur Leah Chase, known as the Queen of Creole Cuisine, who started out as a waitress and went on to open Dooky Chase, a world-famous restaurant that was a gathering place for leaders of the civil rights movement in the 1960s. Advika of Londonderry.
Tiana.
Yes, she's the one. On May 1st, 2011, President Barack Obama announced that this leader of Al-Qaeda had been killed. Ari of Sauhegan.
Bin Laden.
Yes. This could be a type of triangle or a person who is dull-witted. Zach of Sauhegan.
Obtuse.
Yes. This state was named for England's Queen Elizabeth I. Zach of Sauhegan.
Virginia?
Yes, correct. This predictive sphere was inducted into the Toy Hall of Fame in 2018. Tim of Londonderry.
Magic 8 Ball.
Magic 8 Balls, right? The bee hummingbird is the smallest extant bird species in the world. It is a little over 2 inches in length and is endemic to this island nation. Advika of Londonderry.
Hawaii.
Sorry, no. That island nation is Cuba. This Portsmouth politician was the second governor of New Hampshire and one of 2 delegates from New Hampshire who attended the Constitutional Convention. John Langdon was the correct response. Comedian and writer Graham Chapman, one of the 6 members of this British comedy group that included Michael Palin and John Cleese, often ended sketches playing a colonel who would end the sketch before it was over by calling it too silly. Connor of Londonderry.
Monty Python.
That's it. This writer's epic poem, The Odyssey, tells the story of the journey home of Odysseus, the king of Ithaca, following the fall of Troy. Alec of Sauhegan.
Homer.
Yes. On March 15, 1820, as part of the Missouri Compromise, this New England state was admitted to the United States. Advika of Londonderry.
Maine.
Yes. This musician, known as The Boss, has had hits with the songs Born to Run, Born in the USA, and My Hometown. Advika of Londonderry.
Bruce Springsteen.
Yes. In 1986, explosions and fires in reactor number 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in the Soviet Union released radioactive materials into the atmosphere and surrounding land. In what current country is Chernobyl located? Zach of Sauhegan.
Ukraine?
Correct. Martha and the Vandellas had a hit in 1964, and David Bowie and Mick Jagger went to the top of the charts in 1985 with this song written by Marvin Gaye, William Mickey Stevenson, and Ivy Hunter. They hit the top of the charts by Dancing in the Streets. The order, "Don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes," is thought to have been said at the Battle of Bunker Hill. What is the scientific term for the white part of the eye? Alec of Sauhegan.
The sclera.
Yes. Writer Carl Sandburg was the recipient of 3 Pulitzer Prizes, 2 for his poetry and 1 for his biography of this president. Biography was of Abraham Lincoln. You will find 3 letters next to the numbers 2 through 9 on a push button or rotary phone. That makes 24 letters, meaning 2 letters are missing. What are those 2 letters? Sorry, Tim, just missed it. They're Q and Z. In 1993, Czechoslovakia was divided into the Czech Republic and this country. Tim of Londonderry.
Slovakia.
Yes. This 19th century ornithologist and painter's major work, The Birds of America, includes 6 extinct birds: the Carolina parakeet, the passenger pigeon, the Labrador duck, the great auk, the Eskimo curlew, and the pinnated grouse. Advika of Londonderry.
John Audubon.
Yes. Christina Elizabeth Fernandez de Kirchner, also known as CFK, served as the first female elected president of this South American country from 2007 to 2015. In 2019, she was elected vice president of the country. The country was Argentina. Most of the inhabitants of this British territory at the end of the Iberian Peninsula live at the base of a famous limestone rock. Connor of Londonderry.
Gibraltar.
Yes. I'm going to skip 58 and go on to 59. The android Data in Star Trek The Next Generation has this type of brain, conceived of by science fiction writer Isaac Asimov. Amanda of Sauhegan.
Positronic.
You got it. This 17-59, that is the sound that ends the game, and by a score of 490 to 340, Souhegan will be moving on to the semifinals. Congratulations, Souhegan. A well-played game, Londonderry. Thank you so much for coming. We hope you had fun, and we hope you had fun at home as well. And we do hope you join us next week when the Plymouth Regional Bobcats take on the Green Wave of Dover High School. We had a lot of fun here today. We hope you did too. I learned a lot, and I hope you did as well. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.
Major funding for the production of Granite State Challenge is provided by Unitil. Additional funding provided by NEA New Hampshire, Safety Insurance, New Hampshire Lottery, Heinemann Publishing, Cognia, HRCU, Manchester Community College, and viewers like you. Thank you.